this is a demonstration how you can use Qt Skin Generator, which I wrote a while ago. I already cloned the Git repository. In case you are wondering how to get it, then you can go to my website www.blenderfreak.com, and in the products here is Qt Skin Generator. It's completely free. And here is Qt Skin template, which you can use with the Qt Skin Generator. I spent many hours of reskinning almost every widget you can imagine here in the Qt. So with just adjusting a few variables, you can create a completely different look for your Qt application. So if you are interested in it, definitely go and give it a try. However, let's go to the Qt Skin Generator. Here is a free download, and it will lead you to the Git repository where the Qt Skin Generator is. So once you want to download it or clone it, you can just get the address here. Okay. For this application, it's using Stylus and it's also using Grunt, so it depends on the Node.js. Therefore, once you install Node.js and clone this repository, you can just type npm install, and the installation of all of the packages need to run this application will follow. Anyways, in the meantime, we can have a look at the grunt file, which is the main heart of this application. Here in the grunt file, you got configured the tasks like watch, copy to distribution, to build, replace, and a bunch of others. And it basically works with the stylus, so it's compiling the still files into the QSS files. As you can see, here we do already have QSS node editor QSS, and this being built from node editor still. The files are located here. So if you go here and create a new file, let's call that node editor .still, it will create a new file where you can write your stylus code, which then will be automatically converted to the QSS. So to have a look, I will move this to the right top like this. npm already installed all packages, and all you need to do is to write grunt. Once everything will load up, it's building the still files into the build directory, also generating the node QSS. Currently it's empty. However, you can write something like qlabel, and then just like in Python, you can, for example, try background. It's going to be red. Once you save it, everything will be generated automatically for you, and here is your QSS style. Also, for your convenience, there is a script main py, and if you run it, you will get this window full of other elements from Qt5 where you can choose your own QSS style you want. And as you can see, this is the red one, and also there is implemented a hot reload. So now if I go to the still, and let me just scale this a little bit down so we can see both of the things here. And for example, if I write blue here and I just do save, you can see everything is blue now, which is perfect. Here is bunch of qlabel, text edit, and other stuff. So I'm going to close this application for now. And let's have a look how this is written. So the main py actually just starts a test window. Test window is here, and it derives from the main window. Here is bunch of things you can use or override, and everything is being here in the test window. The test window actually has init UI, it's initializing docs and also MDI area and the child for that. So here is the qlabel, text edit, another text edit, and stuff like that. Here you can edit the actions for the menu, I guess. Here are the menus, and in the dock, and so on and so on. So if you, for example, want to style something that we are trying to do in our tutorials for the node editor, and you want to test out your application if it's working here, we can go ahead to the main function, main py, and here, before we import from test window the test window, we can extend our path. So I will import os. So sys.path.insert 0 os path join, and we can include our repository with the node editor. So node editor, in my case it's just here in the node editor tutorials / node editor. So this way I will get to the root here to my node editor, which is completely written in the separate directory. However, let's go back. Now we can go to the test window, and from examples.example calculator, calc conf nodes, import everything. Also from examples.example calculator calculator sub window, import calculator sub window like this. You can see our grunt is still running. Here you can, for example, use code from the parent class. So for example, self on skin changed, and type in qss node editor qss. This way you will change immediately to use this qss style here. And for example, for the third window, instead of writing qtextedit, we can say node editor, and instead of creating it like this and creating the text edit, we can, for example, use our calculator, and calculator is going to be calculator sub window. However, we are using docking panels to be able to create nodes for now, so we can use calc.fileload, and we got our example in node editor /examples /example calculator example.json. And now when I try to run this application, here is our node editor. Perfect. And as you can see, we got our node editor running in a window, and that's cool. So if I go here to the node editor.style, I can now style everything here and see the change immediately in the node editor. However, if you have a look, when I saved and this reloaded, I got this scroll bar. So notice that sometimes it happens that Qt5 isn't able to reload it as it's supposed to. So just bear that in mind. Sometimes you need to restart this application to start over to be able to redraw everything correctly. If I go to our node editor we are using here, and I will go back to the skin generator, we were using this code, and once I save it, it looks like our example we were writing. However, in this case you don't need to write these parentheses here nor the semicolons, and if you got something like qlabel which is under QDM node content widget, you can just indent it like this, and if you have a look how it looks like, it is completely overwritten to QSS, valid QSS, which Qt application can read. So in our case, for example, we do set the background to be transparent. Also, it would be nice to have frame to have transparent background. Also, we can try qtextedit, and maybe even the line edit to have background with, let's say, 666. Let's have a look. Yes, this looks better. Let's set up the color to be white. And now the numbers are white. Perfect. So we are using Q label, and the object name is calc node output for these ones. So let's say, for example, that the minimum width is going to be 150 pixels and also the maximum width. Then we can say that the minimum height is going to be 45 pixels, also the maximum height. Then we can say that the margin from the left side should be 10 pixels. Margin from top can be 5 pixels, and we can set font size to be 28 pixels. Let's have a look, and our output has been styled accordingly, which is perfect. So let's have a look on the inputs here. That's Q line edit, and the object name we are using is calc node input. We can say that the width is going to be 140 pixels, the height can be 36 pixels. So let's try that, and as you can see, it didn't reload, which isn't nice. However, let's set up the margin top to 5 pixels, margin left 5 pixels also, and set up the font size again 28 pixels. And we can say that the color is going to be white. It is already being set here. This is something which you couldn't do ever in the QSS, since any overridden items below won't be taken into the account. But if you do that with Stylus, you will get compiled CSS, which is converted to the QSS files here for you. So you can use, for example, variables like text color, and say that's gonna be red one, and then you can just replace, for example, these colors here, and it will use the variable you are using. You can also use functions like darker by 20%, and I guess it's going to be called darken. Yeah, it is. Or 40%, or just 10%. And as you can see, all of these change. So that's perfect. I'm going to undo this, because I still do want to use the white color here. And let's try to rerun our application. Perfect. Now you can see the text or line edits were changed, which is perfect. So let's leave it like this, and let's style the multiply, add and subtract, divide functions. Here we are using the Q label with again some codes. So let's go ahead and create a Q label with object name calc node bg, and also we can copy that round, because we are using different object names for the multiply, which is mul, and divide. Oh, now we can pass multiple settings, or settings used for multiple stuff, and we can override them later. So background, transparent, the height can be 0, the color I will use 37, 37, 37, and the font size can be 72 pixels. So let's try that. And as you can see, the font size hasn't been respected here. So let's set the maximum height 49 pixels. Also the minimum height is going to be 49 pixels. Then we can say that the padding from left should be 94 pixels. Let's save that. And it somewhere disappeared. So I will try to rerun that. And now we see something at least. So let's tweak it a little bit. And we can say that for Q label and calc node mul, and also for Q label calc node diff, we can say that the padding from top can be 12 pixels, like this, and the multiply changed and the division also. So if we have a look, now I'm kinda happy with the look of the nodes, so perfect. And I close this application. Here is my source file, which is pretty simple to read. I'm able to overwrite everything. And here is our generated Node QSS style. So that's perfect. So to wrap up this video, I'm going to copy the QSS and the node editor.style into our node example, which is here. So here is the QSS. Let's copy it here. I will create a new file, call that node editor.style. Add it to our tutorial series. Paste it here. Now when I run our calculator example and open the file, and you can see we got nice looking styled nodes. So if you like the Skin Qt generator, go ahead and give it a try. The documentation is on the website, link is going to be in the description, and if you like it, leave a comment or subscribe or share it with your friends. So thanks for watching and have a nice day.